So let's shine a little light on a headline that's getting a little, clearly not enough attention. There have been SUV-sized UFOs or drones zipping around New Jersey for days now, and no one seems to care. Well, now because we live in a country with no honesty or transparency from our government or our media, we have no freaking clue what the hell these things are. I guess they're drones. They say the size of an SUV, unpiloted. I mean, is it the United States military conducting exercises, or could it be alien invaders coming into our universe? And I'm not talking about the ones coming across the southern border. I'm talking about the ones coming from outer space. We also can't rule out the possibility of foreign drones. There was a congressman today, a Republican congressman in New Jersey today, saying that he thinks it's coming from an Iranian warship off the coast. Could be. I mean, hell, we had a Chinese spy balloon fly across the country for a week, and Joe Biden didn't know what the hell it was. I'm going to tell you something. They likely know what it is, but they don't want to have the public to know because they'd have to explain how they're going to react to it. They're probably figuring that out in Joe Biden's sleeping chambers. Wow. I know it sounds kind of insane, but let's not forget, if this was exactly the same administration that allowed that Chinese spy balloon to survey half of the country east of the Mississippi before finally shooting it down. And I bet you they wouldn't have done it if we didn't give them so much shit on television. Since the federal government has no intentions of telling us the truth, residents are left to wonder what the hell is going on over their backyards. I say someone should camp out outside with a rifle, take one of them down. Why not? It's not illegal, is it? They're not manned. That's probably our best shot at ever knowing what these things are and where they came from. Moving on to the destruction of the media, my absolute favorite topic because it's so easy to show and prove what I'm talking about. The disintegration of CNN has been one of the most enjoyable, juicy processes to watch since the 2024 election. Their latest batch of ratings was atrocious, which is remarkable when you consider everything that was going on in the news right now. Look at this headline. The Communist News Network, the CNN, just lost in the ratings to the Food Network. You heard me right. A CEO was shot, a Marine was acquitted, a Congresswoman was assaulted, yet more Americans tuned in to watch Gordon Ramsay than Jake Tapper. It's incredible. The mainstream media is shot, folks. The legacy propaganda corporate media is on its ass. It's on its heels. No one trusts them anymore. Why tune into a news service when you don't think it's news, when you realize that they've been lying to you for the past 3 or 4 years? You don't. I understand there's an incredible digital migration taking place right now. Look what's going on. Rogan, Tucker, even here, we were up 205%. We were up 205% from the first month that we launched. No one really knew we were here, to the second month. We're 1 week here, half a week into the third month. We'll let you know. But I think the ratings have a bigger story to tell. American viewers are spending their time with us here in the digital space at a far higher rate than they used to. And who's bleeding? Legacy media. Fox News stayed afloat. This is less about technology and more about content, I believe. This past election stripped these propaganda-pushing networks of all the remaining credibility. People are just pissed. And it's not just conservatives. Democrats are like lost puppies right now when it comes to finding a reliable news source. They're barely 1 month removed from 4 years of lies from their favorite TV hosts. They were told Biden was just fine and Kamala was going to crush Trump. Remember how close it was? The swing states? Kamala's beating Trump in Pennsylvania. Remember those headlines? He wiped the floor with her. All 7 swing states went Trump. They lied to you. The pollsters lied. The pollsters took polls so they could deliver a lie to the news networks so that they could be mentioned on the news networks, so that they get people to watch them and read them and click them. It was all a scam. Everything they did, everything they thought was true, went up in smoke on November 5th. So congratulations to the Food Network. The American people have spoken. there are officially more people watching TV chefs bake pastries than the garbage they're spewing by the airheads over at CNN and MSNBC. Great job with this one, America. I spoke yesterday about the politicization and destruction of our education system, and I wanted to follow up on that just a bit. Democrats are still to this day blaming the destruction on COVID. But I'm here today to prove that that was false. The movement away from greatness started years before the China virus touched down in the United States. Listen to this story from a Trump supporter who, like the rest of us, has been taking in the horror stories from our campuses and shared her own account of the radicalization she experienced in classes after Trump's 2016 victory. Listen.
Story time. I went to UCLA and I was there in 2016 when Trump was elected, and we're on the quarter system, so it's only 10-week classes. And in the middle, he got elected during the week 5, which was midterms. And all of my professors gave all of the students, a safe space and time off from school if they wanted to heal and, quote unquote, mourn the loss of our country. That's literally what they emailed us and would say.
Safe space, a threat to their safety. Where have we heard that type of political BS messaging before? Folks, don't be fooled. The hatred and political divide in our universities, in our schools, goes back almost a decade, maybe even further. COVID had nothing to do with this. The Democrats simply used the pandemic period, that they called it, as an excuse to go full-blown radical. And here we are. It's almost 2025, and 20-year-old college students are still being coddled and comforted over the presidential election. Safe spaces, places to go cry because Trump got elected. What the hell are we doing? China must be laughing at us. I want to play you a little rant from Jen Psaki. Circle back Jen Psaki, who obviously knows a thing or two from inside politics very, very, very well from her time as Joe Biden and, by the way, Barack Obama's puppet. Take a listen to Jen Psaki and what she had to say about Trump's cabinet picks and the hysteria that we've seen about those choices.
There are two kind of interesting, nerdy dynamics happening in Washington right now behind the scenes. Some of it's a little bit public that tell you that it's not business as usual, which I think is a very good thing. One is Republican senators, not a lot of them, but enough of them are doing what I'm going to call quiet defiance, because basically they're not coming out publicly saying they're opposing nominees like Matt Gaetz or Pete Hegseth, which most are quiet about. Joni Ernst probably came the closest. But behind the scenes, what's clear is they are making clear to Trump's team they are not going to support this guy. So would it be better if it was public? Sure, so that they could explain to the public why they're opposed. But even doing this means they might be able to get rid of some of the most problematic nominees. Gaetz first. Hegseth is clearly on his way out. We'll see how long he lasts. I expect someone like Tulsi Gabbard maybe next. We will see.
Is she nuts? Is she crazy? She's very clearly saying the quiet part out loud. Basically, if Trump's cabinet picks face enough pressure to step down, and they do, it will open the door for more beratement by the left and more step downs. It started with Matt Gaetz. It happened to Matt Gaetz. And they're trying to do the same thing now, as you can see, with Pete Hegseth. The point is very clear, very simple. We, the people, elected Donald Trump to be our next president. We went out and voted for this man in droves because of his vision for the country and immediate plans to make America great again. Trump selected the people who, in his eyes, are the best folks and the best fits for the job, for that job to be done. So why now are we all of a sudden questioning his judgment, Jen Psaki? Getting a little confident a couple weeks away from the election. The rhinos and liberal media are simply trying to divide a party that just united around itself and won the most important election in our history. My message to Senate Republicans: don't do it. Don't you dare do it, Senate Republicans. Anyone that makes it to that hearing, you got to put them through. Confirm every Trump selection or risk your own political careers. Because I will tell you, Trump will leg sweep you. Remember, the Senate's 100 senators. It's divided into 3 tranches of voting. So it's a 6-year term. So every election cycle, midterm and presidential, one third come up. So Trump will be around for the first 2 election cycles, next 4 years, 2 years and 4 years. If you vote against his picks, you're gone. He'll make sure you're replaced in 2 years or 4 years. And the third tranche are the ones that just got elected, the ones that Trump just got elected, and they're indebted to him. So get those people through, folks. Stop asking about qualifications. Stop asking about backgrounds or risk your own political career. And I know you senators. I know probably every single one of you Republican senators personally. You are not going to be willing to risk your careers over some ideal that you have. I know. So you better vote the right way or else. Let him get it done. Let him get the work done on day one. This country needs immediate action. It's time to trust the guy that we all just overwhelmingly elected.